Ever walk out of a meeting like, oh, did I really just say that?
Oh, tell me about it. We've all been there.
Right. It's like those facepalm moments make you realize emotional intelligence at work, it's not just some fluffy thing.
It's everything.
It can make or break your career.
Yeah.
So today we're diving deep on how to actually get better at this whole EQ thing.
And what's fascinating is a lot of people, they get the basics.
Yeah.
But where it gets really interesting is those subtle things.
The nuances, right.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack it. First up, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Now, we're not just talking about knowing that, oh, I'm feeling grumpy today.
Right.
It's about how those emotions actually show up at work.
Yeah, it's like being an emotional detective almost. You know, have you ever noticed that certain things at work, they always kind of set you off in a certain way?
Oh, 100%. Like maybe a big presentation, you get anxious.
Mhm.
Or a certain coworker, they just rub you the wrong way.
All the time.
Think about those.
Oh, for sure. I used to get so flustered when people would challenge my ideas in meetings.
Oh, interesting.
And I would like immediately take it personally.
Yeah.
But then like paying attention to that feeling, I was like, oh, this is actually stemming from this like deep-seated fear of not appearing competent.
Right.
And once I knew that, I could work on it.
That's the beauty of it. It lets you figure out those triggers, and then, most importantly, it gives you a way to deal with them.
Okay, so now we're like more self-aware, right? But how do we actually use that? And that's where tips 2 and 3 come in. They're like two sides of the same coin. Managing your own emotions and then really tuning into what other people are feeling too.
Yeah, and it's not about pretending we don't have emotions at work. It's just choosing how you show them.
Right.
It's about taking a beat.
Yeah.
Like, think about someone like Jacinda Ardern. Remember when she was leading New Zealand after that awful shooting?
Oh, yeah.
She was incredible. You could see the weight of everything.
Mhm.
She was so calm and so empathetic towards everyone. Textbook emotional intelligence.
Totally. And you know what also helps with not like totally losing it when things get crazy? Remembering that everyone's got their own stuff going on.
Oh, for sure.
Like that coworker who's being a jerk, maybe it's not even about you. Maybe they're dealing with something totally unrelated at home.
Exactly. And that kind of leads us to communication, which is
Huge.
way more than just the words we say.
Right. It's like, I don't even know. It's like a dance floor where no one knows the steps, but everyone's trying not to step on each other's toes.
That's a good one. Emotionally intelligent communication, it means being clear about what you need, but also really listening to what other people need too.
Yeah.
Making space for everyone to talk openly.
So instead of firing off that passive-aggressive email,
Right.
you could say something like, hey, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with this deadline. Can we maybe adjust things a bit?
Much better.
Right.
Direct, honest, open to working together.
Exactly. Now, speaking of open communication, let's talk about the, secret weapon of emotional intelligence.
Ooh, what's that?
Feedback.
Oh, yes.
It can be so scary to ask for,
Absolutely.
even trickier to give well.
Yes.
But it is so
I
important
live that from, yeah.
because no one can read minds. Exactly. I used to be terrified of feedback.
Really?
I thought it was just going to be a list of all the things I was doing wrong.
Right.
But then I realized if I ask for really specific feedback, it's actually super helpful. Like, what did you think about my approach during that client pitch? Not just, how am I doing?
Right, because who knows what that even means.
Exactly.
But if you're the one giving the feedback, remember to focus on what someone did, not who they are as a person.
Oh, that's good.
So instead of saying you were way too aggressive in that meeting, maybe try something like, hey, I noticed when you raised your voice there, it seemed like some people got a little uncomfortable. Could we try to find a way to get your point across, assertively but respectfully?
That's such a good point. And honestly, even if you're killing it at work, everyone can benefit from a little constructive criticism.
100%.
Yeah.
So to wrap it all up, for better emotional intelligence at work,
Mm.
we need to understand ourselves, manage how we react, have empathy for others, communicate clearly, and be open to giving and getting feedback.
Boom. Your emotional intelligence toolkit. So as you're going about your week, think about this. What is one small thing, just one, you can change based on what we talked about today?
I like it.
Even those small changes can make a big difference. Remember, emotional intelligence, it's not like a finish line you cross.
It's a journey.